What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to episode six, six. How you say six in German, Brandon?
You,
You said
I
fünf
can't
is
even,
five.
I can't even remember.
Anyway, welcome back, y'all, to the
Oh no,
Club
you know
WAM
what? It's
Pod.
actually funny.
Go ahead, go
Zex,
ahead. Zex.
Zex,
This is
Zex.
episode Zex. Man, y'all already know what we do. I'm your host, Eli. Say what up, Ant, to the people.
What's up, people?
Say what up to the people, Brandon.
What up? What up? What up?
Hey, we excited, man. A lot has happened and a lot has not happened at the same time. But we're gonna talk about it today, man. Like, honestly, off the top, the biggest thing that's happened is free agency has went down. I I'm guessing we can say the biggest transaction as far as money goes was PG to the 76ers, right? We talked about it a
Yeah.
little bit on the last episode. And where does this put the 76ers in the East?
Mm, that's a tough one because we already know Philly's a playoff team, regardless, without him.
Right.
But it definitely don't put them above the Celtics, even though adding like a 22 point per game scorer is like crazy, and like an amazing perimeter defender too. It's like so. It's I can see where it could be crazy, but it's just kind of like I don't know. I kind of just got them kind of like round 3, 4, somewhere around that area in the East. It's like the Paul George pickup for me is just like don't get me wrong, I like Paul George. I feel like Paul George is like a talented player, but I don't feel like he moves the needle as much as people think. Like for me, it just kind of look like, yeah, it's gonna be a good addition to the team. And again, it's still gonna all come down to is Joel Embiid gonna be healthy? Because if Joel Embiid is healthy, yeah, that team is crazy. Like you got a problem on your hands. But if we get the same hobbling Joel still like making it happen some kind of way, but he's not 100%. You can see it on both ends of the floor. So it's going. I mean, for me, it's a good move, but I don't. It still comes down to Joel Embiid.
Brandon.
I mean, I think it puts him in like the same tier of like the Knicks and like the Bucks and like just basically a tier below
Everybody
Boston.
below the Celtics.
And I mean, it does like raise their floor, which I think is nice. But I just feel like as a sport and just the way the NBA is gone, I think we're past like the big three shit, and it feels like it's like more than that. It's more of that, which I mean, it hasn't really won. I don't necessarily think that it makes them better than Boston. I think it does give them a 22 point per game score. I think and I think they give someone to like dump the ball to when they're doubling triple teaming Maxi and like Embiid's, he's a center, so he's not really, it keeps him from having to do too much guard stuff on the perimeter. But I'm not they're gonna have to show me just because they have two
Yeah.
historic playoff chokers on their team too. Like I really need to. I'm gonna have to see it. I'm gonna have to see the product and how they fill
uh,
out the rest of that team.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah,
they got Caleb Martin. They got
yeah,
Caleb Martin.
they did fill out their roster pretty decently. They have Andre Drummond, who's obviously going to be coming off the bench. I'm pretty sure they re-signed Kelly Oubre, so they got
Mm-hmm.
him back. Um,
Rocco might be healthy.
yeah, they got Rocco, and then they got the
Yeah,
guard, the TikToker. What's his name? The one that be
Rozier.
Jared McCain.
the one who was catching those strokes from Dwight
Hey
Howard.
man, you know what's
The
funny?
catching strokes with Dwight Howard. That they got him. Go
I
what?
hope
Go
he's
ahead.
good just because it's gonna piss people off. I hope he's
Yo,
actually good. I hope he's like the sixth man they need because it's gonna be funny as hell. Him doing TikTok dances and scoring 20 off the bench. It's gonna be fucking hilarious.
I just don't know who plays the four for them. though. That's my only concern. Is because if they're expecting like Caleb Martin to do that, he played that for the Heat, but they just play differently, man. It's not a real four. Like I got to see it happen. I mean, maybe Paul George at the four. Rocco is if he's healthy, but that's where I see that they need. Like someone
Yeah.
is just they
Yeah.
need some big wings or some power forwards on that
Yeah, and they
team.
let go of Paul Reed, so they actually
Yeah,
released him this morning, I'm pretty sure, or last
Yeah.
night. They released Paul
But
Reed, so that's one less.
teams be building to beat the champs. And they
Yeah,
looking at it
so they
like,
want
well,
wings.
we got Caleb Martin, we got Kelly Oubre, Paul George, Maxi and Embiid. We can match up with the Celtics type deal. I feel like that's more
you
what
can't
they
even
looking
match up
at.
with the Bucks doing that though.
Nah, I mean, yeah, but I mean that's a game of matchups. They match up well with against the Knicks like that though, because the Knicks don't have no tall fours. So it's like really the Bucks is the only team in the East where the small four is going to give them a problem. Because right now Miami got Bam at the 5, unless y'all rookie workout. Because I saw him play his summer league game. He was doing this thing.
Yeah, I think the goal is to put slide Bam to the 4.
Yeah. Now if he
Well,
gets slid to the 4, then that's a second team. That is a matchup issue. But I mean in the East, they
you're
fine with the
forgetting
small
about the
four.
Cavs too.
Yeah,
Like the Cavs are there too. Evan Mobley played pretty good. Like
Yeah,
they
but
got to deal
teams
with
ain't scared of
Paulo
them.
and they got to deal with Paulo and the Magic. Like it's just, these are just like a
the
lot of
East is
teams.
tough. Yo, the
Yeah,
East gonna be
we're
tough.
like I mean yeah they match up well with
Woo.
the best of the teams, but like those worst teams, it evens the playing field. Not having somebody who can just it's really just about rebounding. Like they're gonna
Yeah.
lose those
Yeah,
rebounding games. Well, we'll see. We'll see. They'll grab somebody. There's a lot of free agents out there still.
It's a game of
And through the
matchups.
year.
yeah. Well, the Cavs are a question mark right now. There's rumors floating around that with signing Donovan Mitchell, you pretty much just sealed the fate that Darius Garland no longer wants to be there. He's never said that. So I will say this: I don't believe a single report that comes out of the Cavs,
Yeah.
um, any rumors, because pretty much anything that we've heard, they said Donovan Mitchell is no longer happy there. He don't rock with Jared Allen. Like, but none of that, none of if you're not happy with the franchise, why would you re-sign there for max money?
I
So
have a
that
theory
doesn't
on
that don't
that.
make sense. That don't
And
make
the
sense
dude that signed for
unless he's
max
trying to
money
get the
asked y'all
bag.
to keep Jared Allen.
Yeah, unless he's trying to get his money on and then dip. But that don't make sense to me. That don't
Well,
make sense to me.
to me, it's a little funny that all those rumors went away as soon as they fired JB at Bickerstaff. And
Yeah,
also, like I
that's
just think a
true.
lot of
I
them did
don't
not
even
want
know
to
how you keep
re-sign
getting
to play
jobs.
there and then have to play under him still.
Yeah,
And who's to say he's not even a bad coach or whatever? But he loses his locker rooms. And then
yeah.
he lost the
Quickly
locker room
after like a
crazy.
year.
He was like, who did he say about Jared that he wasn't tough for not playing through
Yeah,
injury? Bro, shut up. We don't do that
Yeah.
anymore. Like, we don't do that
I
Not
think he
anymore.
had
even
like
about
a
that. Like that's a
was
case
it
by
broken
case thing,
ribs?
bro. Everybody can't do that. Everybody's
What is
not
it?
built like that. And if he feel like he's not good enough to go, he's not going. If he feel like
Yeah.
he's gonna be a detriment to the team on the floor, why would he not sit?
Yeah,
Like,
Like
do we expect him to to go out
that's
there
how
and
the
play
Spurs
through
lost
injury
Kawhi.
and playing like limited? Like, you think a limited version of a player is better than just having him? Like, no, just game playing around it, dude. Like, he's been out for multiple games. This isn't a toughness thing. He's out.
there's probably like we're gonna lose regardless. So
Yeah.
pivoting on the opposite side of that, right? Paul George literally walked as a free agent, so there was no trade. He literally walked as a free agent. So the Clippers, they traded. I'm gonna
That team
I'm gonna
is bad.
break it down to you. They traded Shea, Gallinari, the 2022 first round pick, which turned to be Jalen Williams, right? I'm pretty sure. 2024 first round pick, 2026 first round pick. They got Miami's first round pick. They have Miami's 2023 first round pick. They got the Clippers 2023 first round pick and the 2025 first round pick. 2023 and 2025 are pick swaps. So they gave up a king's ransom to get Paul George. Mind you, let me give you some context and let me be fair. Paul George at this point was in the conversation for MVP before he hurt both his shoulders. So I can say that, give that the context before the trade happened. But is this the worst trade ever or one of the worst trades ever for the Clippers?
I mean, I think it's both a bad trade, but it's simultaneously one that they have to make because that's how they got Kawhi too.
Yeah, because Kawhi was
So
going to sign with the Lakers.
like so like it to me it's a sunk cost. I mean, they've had a lot of bad luck because like this team was a title contender for four or five straight years. It's not even like, and then that first year before the bubble, they were looking like they were going all the way. So I mean, it is the worst trade ever because I mean they gave up Shea, who I think at his height is already better than Paul George ever was. And then but
Ooh, that's
again, would I
is
have
that a
made the
hot
trade if
take?
I was the Clippers? Would I have made the trade if I was Clippers? Yeah, I would have made the same. I would. The Clippers would probably still make that trade given the circumstances again because it did put them in like you. There's no guarantee that Shea becomes like who he is. They probably didn't even know that was the case. He was like an 11 point per game scorer for them, and like he was like a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So it was like it's not like he's someone that showed all this upside. He didn't really
Mm.
get that until he played with Chris Paul.
Yeah. And Clippers, did they make the worst trade ever?
Yeah, man, I would have to say it only because of the way it ended. So it's kind of like yes and no, because it's like yeah, the way it ends is you gave up all that and he walks away for nothing. But at the same time, you had all this team success. You were able to get Kawhi. You got James Harden. You have Russell Westbrook. You have a solid team. So it just kind of comes down to what's gonna happen. I think that's got the success they have this season is gonna tell a lot about the trade too. Is like whether or not it moves where their team falls. Like if the Clippers are gonna fall drastically in the seeding in the West because they don't have Paul George now, or they're gonna find a new style of basketball and find another gear and still be winning the same amount of games they're winning. So it's kind of like
Mm,
because they got nothing for him, that part of the trade is bad, but
yeah, that's
it
nasty.
seems like a necessary move to still be competitive. It's like the making that move and after that move, I would say they're still a competitive team. So I would say it
Yeah,
wasn't.
they look
It could have
great.
been worse. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
Clippers, their roster looks pretty good right now, even
Yeah.
without Paul George there. I think it balanced. No more Kawhi at the four. You can slide in more wings. Like I think that they'll be fine. It sucks that they lost stuff for them, but I mean they're almost past the whole period. Like they have 2 more years of picks going to OKC, and they're
Yeah.
only swaps, so they're still gonna get a pick. It's not that
They
it's like
got
it's
they
not the
got
end of the
Yeah.
world.
Batum.
So
They got
Yeah.
PJ. So I
yeah,
mean,
so
yeah, they got
Yeah.
guys to
2025,
throw at the
yeah.
four.
Yeah. I mean,
Got Daniel Theis if you want to, set somebody up for a dunk.
Yeah,
Put him on
they'll
the
be
floor.
fine. It's not even worth. I think even looking at Clippers Twitter, like they don't. A lot of these people are just more like that. PG, like PG does it again. I said this in my reaction too. That PG always like he I want to be here forever. I want to do this, that, and the other with this franchise. Build, be a legend, and then he up and leaves when it going gets tough. Like that's good. That's happened twice now. There's no questioning that. Like they don't even care. They're just more pissed off at him and in his podcast
you
host.
yeah, I mean, you did have PG on your all complainer team, I
Yeah.
think, because he jumped ship and he don't know what he wants. So hey,
And
let's talk
he
about
don't even know how
somebody.
you want to play
Go ahead, go
either.
ahead.
Sorry, he
Yeah.
don't even know how you want to play either. So
So
like,
one
now
get
we ain't gotta get
one
into
year
it.
you want to play ISO, then you want to do team oriented, then it's just I
Yeah,
mean, we could talk about somebody who I guess a team that did make a good trade, right? Or a trade. I don't know about good or bad, whatever. But Klay Thompson agreed to sign with the Mavericks. This ends the end of an era. The Splash Bros era is officially over. Um, how do y'all feel about it? And start with you. Thoughts?
I I think it's crazy the way it happened. Like the fact that they couldn't come to like pay him. I feel like it's weird, especially when it's just like every last one of those rings, he was just as important as Steph Curry was on the floor for that team. Like it's the Splash Brothers. It was the two of them. The reason why that was one of the craziest backcourts we've ever seen. Like these are the two best shooters in the NBA, and they
Yeah,
are running the floor and they're killing. One of them is not even putting the ball down. And so it's crazy to me that the reason why he walked is because y'all wouldn't pay him. Not that you couldn't, you wouldn't. That part is weird. But I would like to say he made a nice lateral movement because I didn't think he would go to the Lakers, and it's kind of mostly because of Steph, because that's really his guy. I didn't really see him going over there because that's direct friction. It's like between him and LeBron. But the Dallas move, I think, is crazy. I think them picking up, like, strengthening their bench, getting Quentin Grimes. They got him as like, man, PJ. They got the Norris twin. Najee Marshall, I had to go look up like some stuff about him. He's a solid 3-point shooter. I think he was supposed to be a 3-and-D guy, but I mean, it's like he was behind. We know who on the Pelicans. Like he's behind those guys, so it's like you're not really finna get to play. Like those guys are killing. You got Zion, so there's really no spot for him. But he's a very solid 3-point shooter. I think he'll do great for them off the bench. So I mean, hey man, that Dallas team looking dangerous. They did. That is the team to beat in the West right now.
It's
And
nice
Derek
that we
Live is
finally
definitely
figured out
gonna
what he
get
does.
better.
Brandon.
It's nice that we finally found out what Najee Marshall does.
Yeah, it's like, yo, what is this man?
Bro, I had to go
Who?
investigate. I'm like, bro, it gotta be a reason why they signed him.
Yeah, I thought because to me when I used to watch him play, and this is probably because he was early in the season in his like career, the man was like he was like a loose cannon out there. Dude was just 100 on go, just zooming towards the rim over and over again, taking a lot of bad shots. But hey, that was years ago. Obviously, if they give him a 3-year contract, I think he's worth it. I think for the Mavs, this is like a pretty good move just because like I mean, Klay, I don't think he's a good defender. I think that part of his game is dead, and I think it's been dead for years. But he's still an A plus shooter, and there's like he's one of the 3 or 4 best shooters in the world right now, and one of the best ever. So like, I mean, that just putting that on the floor with Luka and Kyrie is insane. Like they're gonna have plays run up for Klay. It's not hard for them to do. Um, it's not going to be hard for them to do. But when you're playing off people like that, it's just like he has the quickest trigger I think in the league, all that stuff. So it's like go ahead
You
and
don't need to put the
you know,
ball down.
yeah. My only thing with this team is who starts, who finishes, who guards the ball, who's guarding, who's doing all that stuff because that matters. I don't think PJ Washington is built like that. I think losing Derrick Jones Jr. is gonna be a problem just because he was the one guarding he was guarding all the point of attack stuff. He was guarding the Anthony De'Aaron Foxes of the world. He was guarding every point guard that they would go across, so that Kyrie, who can guard those guys, um
Make it
didn't have
easier
to, but like
so you can
yeah, it
hoop.
makes it easier. He's 33. Like they need
Mhm.
that. I think that's like another thing that they'll fill out. I could see there being games where Klay comes off the bench but still plays like 27 to 30 something minutes, just so that they can have a different defensive look in there at the beginning. I definitely think that they will be ending games with Klay Thompson in that lineup, and then they'll have to figure out the rest around that, and how that looks. Um, and then now to Klay himself and how this affects the Warriors. I think Klay took it as disrespect that they went and gave Wiggins and pulled that money before they gave it to him and Draymond. And I see it on both ends because Draymond got upset by it and he knocked out Poole. But like to me, it was like I think the organization thought that they were above that, that they can just make moves and know that they'll be you guys, we're gonna get to you guys and take care of you guys. And the other guys didn't see it that way. Obviously, it was like we're first, we've been here first. I just don't think Klay's worth the money that he's asking for. He is that great of a shooter, but like man, like they were giving him more money over more years. So he chose the Mavs basically out of spite.
Yeah.
Because he was pissed off with how the Warriors treated him. But me personally, I don't think they treated him off like that. I mean, if it was guaranteed to come to you, it was going to be there. Just wait your turn, like they were doing. And then they ended up giving him the money that he wanted, but it was already too little, too late. I'm like, man, like it's either you want to stay or you didn't. It sounds like it is probably time for them to move on from it. It's gonna be suck. It's really gonna suck to not see those guys retire together. Um, just being a fan of that trio. But that, all around, I don't think this, like, especially with like thinking about how the Warriors retooled after that. I think it's not that big of a loss. to their basketball team, but maybe to their locker room, it may make a big effect. So,
Ant, you got anything to add?
Nah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the visual, right? It's about optics, right? You're right. The basketball team, it's, I think that the combination of Buddy Hield and what's the other dude they got? D'Anthony Melton.
yeah,
Yeah,
They
I
got
think those two
Kyle
together can
Anderson.
replace. Yeah, I think
They got Kyle
those two
Anderson.
can replace Klay's production, but the heart and soul, like, yo, it's the Splash Bros. We gotta play the Splash Bros. Like
yeah,
it's not gonna hit the same. It's not gonna hit the same. Like they running on a fast break and Draymond get the ball and he throw a pass that looks like a dumbass pass and it's going to D'Anthony Melton
yeah.
or Buddy
I
Hield.
mean,
Like it just don't feel it just don't feel the same. It just don't. Um, yeah, it's sad to see. Moving on to a different topic that I have a personal investment, and y'all probably be surprised at what I say. But the Lakers so far have done absolutely nothing in free agency besides sign LeBron to a slightly less than a max deal at so he saves $3 million so that they don't hit the second apron. Here's I'll give my thoughts and then y'all can say whatever. At first I was pissed because the Lakers have done nothing. The whole point and the reason why I was so pissed is because Rob Pelinka said, "Hey, I'm not going to do anything drastic during the trade deadline because when the offseason comes up, we will have more draft picks available to get pieces to put around LeBron and AD." Cool. Free agency is here. Nothing has been done. I was pissed. I am still a little pissed that nothing has happened whatsoever. But here's the saving grace. I have already accepted the fact that the rings for LeBron, he probably gonna be where he's at. That's just it is what it is. I've already accepted that point. What I'm not going to subscribe to is overpaying people to be in a Lakers jersey. Here's an example. The Lakers were going to give Klay 4 years, 80 mil. He is like, I don't care. Like, that's a lot of money.
It's kind of what he just got.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
just $20 million a year.
That's what he
yeah.
just got.
And then DeRozan wanted like what? What did DeRozan just sign for?
He
3
wanted his
years,
deal had to be
76.
3 years. Yeah, his deal
Yes,
had to
like
be
3
3
years,
years
almost
plus.
80. That's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot of
But
money.
they the way his contract was set up, if you were getting him, you had to take him for 3 years plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, DeRozan just put up
So,
like
yeah,
27,
yeah.
28, and 25.
Hey,
I think he worth
Oh,
that.
that contract's not that bad actually.
Rosen was gonna play
But
ball too.
yeah, so there were players that were in talks. I don't
I think
subscribe.
they just missed out on that Buddy Hield
Yeah,
thing.
I
I think
think
that's
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this Laker tag. I don't know. I like players are going other places for less than what the Lakers are asking for, which I believe is 100% a front office issue because that's your job. That's literally your only job is to be able to improve the roster. And for whatever reason, Rob Pelinka, there's a snake in everybody's boot about Rob Pelinka. Like, ain't nobody trying to do him no favors. Ain't nobody rocking with him. So, I mean, y'all can chime in, speak your piece. Go ahead, Brandon. Start with you.
Do you think it's just a Pelinka issue? Do you think it's like more of like a Lakers plus LeBron plus Pelinka plus all that together, just making for a really uncomfortable situation? Like, look at how they tore down Westbrook, and look at how like when players sign there, it's always a million times more pressure because they're playing
Yeah.
in LA. They're playing under the Lakers banner, under those spotlights on ESPN every single week. And then they also got the LeBron aspect, whereas they're always trying to win and they're always trying to improve the roster during and after the season. So players consistent like this has been a known thing
job
forever
always
now.
in danger.
Yeah, it's hard to play. Is it not hard to play under those like
For
conditions?
some people, probably.
I personally, I wouldn't do that. I don't
I
think
wouldn't care,
LeBron.
but
I wouldn't play with LeBron and think that I'm gonna get a guaranteed like title chance anymore. Like I don't think that is there anymore. I don't think that he's that type of player anymore.
nah.
So they and it may just take for them to overpay players for them to come over there. But I'm gonna be real. and I made I made a long 5-minute walk and talk with this the other day, where I personally don't feel like that, like 3 mil doesn't do anything for you as a pay cut. Like if we're talking pay cut, I was expecting 15. That's what it seemed like. Like to me, to come out and say that early and then to not take it at all, and then to act like you were doing them this huge favor, that's weak as hell to me. It's either you taking the pay cut or you or not. 3 million, nothing. I don't care if
Well,
you're LeBron.
well,
You
he
All
say
right,
was
pay
he
cut.
was taking it if they found somebody. The thing was,
No,
if they found a player, then he would take it down to around 30,
yeah, he had
35.
six. He had a
man.
They
list of
never,
six
they
players.
didn't
Yeah,
find anybody to match that, so they gave him the money. They had already, like, there's a bunch of reports of people already saying that that was gonna happen, that the Lakers were gonna be shopping that money that LeBron said that they could use to get. No, they weren't gonna be able to get any of the guys they wanted because other teams are gonna offer them better deals, which they probably were just longer deals. Honestly, they probably missed out on Klay and DeRozan because they didn't want to sign for 3 or 4 years,
I
and
just
because they
man.
didn't, they had to give him that. And I mean, when you look at the Lakers team, the plan is still to trade D'Lo. So that's, I mean, that's really the only move they have left. And
But
so I mean, at that point, we might as well pay the guy.
but 1 to 3 million, that's just like to barely
well,
scrape by the second apron for a team that got swept twice, like 2 years in a row, and barely make the playoffs
yeah.
like in
I
the
think,
last 3 years.
That's still
I
LeBron
think,
James.
I think this, I think this is the part that you're missing, right? And if you can still feel the way you feel about it, that's fine. But like, I think it's the part that you're missing. So there was a list. Everybody knows the players that were like, okay, hey, these are actual. If you get these players, they're needle movers. This helps the team improve. Now, all of those players signed with different teams. So he's like, yo, I'm not taking less money for Gary Trent Jr. I'm sorry, I'm not. Like what? And first of all, to be
He
clear,
might took less for Caleb Martin though. If the 76
yeah, but to be clear though, to be crystal clear, it is not LeBron's responsibility to take less money for the franchise. The franchise, the owners are the billionaires. It is not the responsibility of a millionaire to take, well, LeBron's a billionaire, but it's not the responsibility of a billionaire to take less money than another for a billionaire. That I don't subscribe to that. That is not LeBron's job to take less money for a team so that they can make a little more money and not pay a tax. That is not his job. That's that.
I'm only speaking about it from salary cap terms, where like, cause me, yeah, I understand like not taking less money, so they fuck the salary thing. That's on y'all. But I'm thinking more like, okay, you say you want to help with the cap so that they can have that money. He took a max for this year and next year, so they're
Yeah, he
not gonna have
tried.
that money. They're not gonna have that
No, he
money
can
next
opt
year
out.
anyway.
He does a 1-and-1. He can opt
Yeah,
out every
you
single
opt
year.
out every time.
See,
He
but
he gives
here's
them the
my
same leeway every time, and nothing is done with it every time. This ain't the first time this has happened.
I just feel like why even okay, so why it's like we talked about optics a few times, and how things look and everything like that. And to me, it's not a good look. And I'm only saying that is because why, like they weren't able to go out and get player like one player, two player, but why not try to overpay some role players who are good still to come in even with that money, like LeBron, I'm not saying LeBron doesn't need it and that he shouldn't get his money. That isn't my point. He absolutely should, but like I think like you did like
But they're
you
keeping the money
these great
available.
players, like these great players and all this stuff, like you at your and you but you, when you take up this much of a cap, you're also limiting what your team can do on the back end too, which I again he can he only has the only power he has is to negotiate, like it's to negotiate and leverage his own contract. I 100% understand that stuff, but I feel like there's better players that they could have got for like even less money, like 1 to 3 mil to save the team tax. Okay, that doesn't leave them with much else for the rest of the offseason. Are they done now? There's still
Yeah,
there's still free agents out there.
they're
They
done
still
till
And,
they
need
move
they
D'Lo. There's
still need
nobody
well,
that
so
does anything for them.
but they've been trying to trade D'Lo for 3 years. They ended up having to extend him.
yeah, but
Right, but the money is still available every offseason because of the way LeBron is structuring his deal. Every offseason is available for them to try to find some role player or some third possible guy to bring in and help him and Anthony Davis, but they haven't. And it's in part because of what you said earlier, because it's the Lakers
Yes,
because it's
office
LeBron
issue.
James. Because
Like
they're
the
not
three of
they're
us.
not selling the team.
Yeah, the three of
That's
us
just what it comes
together.
down to. They're not selling the team to anybody.
The
Nobody wants to
three,
come there.
the three
Either
of
they
us
want to beat
together could put a
LeBron,
team
they
together
don't
better
want
than
to
what they
play
got.
with him, or they don't want to play for the Lakers because, like you said, some motherfuckers just can't handle the pressure. There are a lot of guys in the NBA that are dogs that just simply can't make shots because they can't handle the pressure. So you know they wouldn't be able to play on the fucking Lakers.
I mean, I feel like this all comes down to that Westbrook trade that they made a few years ago, and that they shouldn't have done it. And I know
They shouldn't
I'm
have,
not
but
trying to hear. I'm not trying to hear it.
we
LeBron
so far
influenced that
removed from
because they
that.
were going for DeRozan. LeBron influenced that. We can't say he didn't. There's reports of it. That was a bad look, and they messed up. I know the problem is they needed a third option scorer, and Westbrook was a 30-point per game scorer for multiple years. And then but by the point time they had got him, he was diminished and he could not fill that role for them. And his star power wasn't good enough to fit around any fit options. You know what I'm saying? But DeRozan comes in and fits all that stuff. And now you've already decided, no, I don't want this guy. And he goes on and has almost an MVP caliber season in Chicago. And now you're still left here with the dust because now you still have the D'Angelo Russell contract. You had that 40 mil on there for Russ. You had to trade him for Rui and then extended Rui, and you guys don't even know if you like him now. You extended Vanderbilt for all those years, and guys don't know if you like these players, but they're all band-aids for the
No, they
overarching
like him.
issue.
The coach just wasn't playing him, and we already
Yeah,
know what that was about. They love Rui. Rui is the reason why they had a chance. Nah, trust me. That he just not nah. That shit was. They got way too much shit going on. To be completely
I
honest with you,
I feel like
the
there's
Lakers
fit
have way.
options here
The Lakers have way
they're
too much
missing
shit
up
going
on.
on.
There's a lot of fits that don't fit. None of this team, when you
Yeah.
break it down,
The
none of them sound like
problem
they
was
fit
with
together.
Frank Vogel. They should have never let him go. That's where the fucking
Yeah,
problem
they
was.
let Darvin
If you
Ham.
keep him, none of that shit happens. You keep him with
Yeah,
the team they had. That team plays a lot better. Certain guys like Rui
their
is
team was
playing.
taller. They were more physical.
You're not starting Austin and D'Lo at the same time because you know that's a fucking bad idea. One of them is coming off the bench. D'Lo would be an amazing six man. Why the fuck are we starting him? He can't play defense. We putting Austin in trouble. He can play defense a little bit, but now he just became a starter. Now he's struggling because he's got to hustle on both ends of the goddamn floor because we have to put in shooting point guard next to LeBron James because that's the only type of point guard that works next to LeBron James. So it's just like they fucked it up when they fired Frank Vogel. The Westbrook shit,
Yeah,
whatever, that's here nor there. Everybody got their opinion of that. The real problem was firing him. Was not the same problem all these fucking teams are having is not fucking working through it with your guys. You're signing people to multi-year contracts and you getting them up out of there in 1 year. None of these teams are working through with their guys. Frank Vogel's not a bad coach. He's never been a bad coach. Why the fuck are we firing Frank? You know, like it's just a
He
lot of
got
this shit
fired
is just
again
stupid.
off
It
of the
doesn't make
Suns.
no
yeah.
fucking sense.
It
Yeah,
just
fired Suns for
And
the
it
same
doesn't make
reason.
any
Wrong
sense.
coach, wrong
And
thing.
and I don't understand this wanting this instant gratification. And it's just like I don't get it.
Those are Lakers
You
Yeah.
fans,
have
bro,
to
and
work
LeBron fans.
towards success.
nah. I
Frank Vogel was never a bad coach at no point for the Lakers. Why the fuck do you let him go?
There's been
that's
I would
a
tell you
Lakers ineptitude
I was
front office.
rocking with the Lakers hard before they made the AD trade. And I was like really in on that, like for organization, all that stuff. A lot of this stuff to me, again, they're band-aiding. I still feel like they're band-aiding, trying to make these championship rosters like kind of out of nowhere. I
Gave
agree
up
that
Kuzma
Rui
and
is
then needed
good.
Kuzma.
I agree that Rui is good. I don't think that he fits with LeBron and AD. I straight up. I think that if he was a shooting guard and he did the same thing, then yes. But he's a power forward, and LeBron has to play the four, and Rui can't guard the three. It's just a weird. It's these weird mixes here
But you
where
can with
like
LeBron and
you can
Anthony
see
Davis
the
on the floor.
idea. You can see the idea though, but the idea on the floor doesn't really work well because then the coach doesn't fit because you switch from a defensive oriented team with Caruso and Rondo and Avery Bradley as your guards, and then you try to switch to more like why go get D'Lo? Why go get Westbrook? Why do any of this stuff? Why even switch up this whole thing for? And I don't even understand what they were trying to. I don't understand what they were trying to do and what model they were following. because it hasn't worked out, and I don't know if there is a way for them to turn around and turn this around in any way over next. Even trading D'Lo, who are you gonna get? That
Kuzma back.
who? Like, but why would Washington want D'Lo? They don't need him. They already have
Washington
Jordan
trying to get
Poole.
Cooper Flag.
Yeah. I mean, let's.
We need
I
as
don't
many
know.
guards that
I don't
can't
know
play
what they're
defense as
doing,
possible.
but
They
Yeah,
trying to get in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. You know what the
yeah,
fuck going on.
they're in
Yeah.
they're stuck in a pool of their own making. I'll keep
Yeah.
it like that. That's how I feel about it. And
let's just.
I think there's every big name in that organization has something to do with it.
Yeah. Let's just
losing Magic is when it started going downhill.
literally. But let's move on to a different wizard, the mid-range wizard, to get more specific. DeMar DeRozan, 3 years, 74 to the Sacramento Kings. Does this make them better? Does this get them? Where does this rank them? So they traded Harrison Barnes to the Spurs. It was a 3-team trade. Chris Duarte goes to the Bulls. Where does this put the Kings?
Goodbye, DeMar DeRozan. Bye. Have fun in Sacramento, man. Hey, it was fun having you as a Bull, bro. But hey, for Sacramento fans, hey, good luck watching him shoot turn. Good luck trying to see him shoot turnaround fades in the first round of the playoffs as you lose 3-1.
Well, they ain't even. Did they make the playoffs this year? No, they got to the play-in.
Yeah, they lost.
And they lost. So you saying it's gonna make them better?
No, I'm saying they're going to be in the exact same position that the Bulls were in the last couple of years, where you're watching DeRozan shoot turnaround fades over good defenders to try to save your season. That's it. I don't think this makes them any better. I don't think it makes them any worse. I think their floor is higher. I think they're a more established playoff contender team, but the West is even more bloodthirsty than the East right now. So this gives them that one game opportunity to get out. And they'll be able to win games. I will say, because DeRozan does win you games. And with Sabonis and with De'Aaron Fox, I think that this is a good 2 to 3 year window for them to see if they can get better. I don't necessarily think that DeRozan will make your team that much. I don't think he within himself is going to be a kind of those two elevating with him there, because DeRozan's not taking a step back. That's not his game. He's gonna have to take a lot of shots to get those points. And those two need to work off of him and make sure he's in the right spot and everything like that for it to flow nicely. Which we'll have to wait and see. I don't think this is a thing that Sabonis can do. I just think about De'Aaron Fox, who 27 a game last year. Is he gonna want to go down on 24? Is that something he's gonna want to do?
So they switched him out for Harrison Barnes, right? So you say switched him out for Harrison Barnes. So
basically, yeah,
we could say DeMar DeRozan is a better scorer than Harrison Barnes, right? We all agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and he's definitely a better playmaker.
Yeah.
So, in saying that, them being a playing team with Harrison Barnes in that spot, taking DeMar DeRozan onto that team with the rest of those guys, helping taking playmaking load off of De'Aaron Fox, helping taking playmaking load off of Sabonis, I think it makes the team better. I think it makes them better to the point that if they are in the play-in, they're probably coming out of the play-in, or they possibly a playoff team in my book.
I still think this is how they approach it.
Especially because De'Aaron Fox is still getting better. De'Aaron Fox was killing this year and last year, and this year he was better than he was last year.
Yeah, they finished. So they finished in 9. Looking at the teams that made the playoffs, right? The West about to be a bloodbath, because you can automatically assume the Grizzlies, they're getting better. John Morant comes back, they were the 2 seed.
The Spurs, and
he was healthy, so they're coming back. The Spurs will be better. The Spurs will be better.
Still got the Kings as a team to upset somebody in the play-in.
Yeah,
I got them in the playoffs this season.
We'll see what the Pelicans do, but DeJounte Murray, I think, makes them better. Once they figure out whatever they're going to do with the Brandon Ingram thing, they need a center. Otherwise, it's going to be a highway to the basket for them. You still got the Clippers, you still got the Mavs, you still got the Thunder, you still got the Nuggets, of course.
I think the Clippers drop.
You
Yeah, I
got the
think they'll drop,
Rockets.
but not out the playoffs. Maybe around 6.
Yeah, you still got the Rockets who got something to say about everything.
I don't think
The
the Rockets
Lakers,
gonna be in it.
they gonna say what they gonna say. I
Not
don't
the,
know.
not the team the Rockets got right now. I don't think they're gonna
No,
be in it. Them boys are not ready.
no.
Cause Ja coming back and Wemby, like, bro, the Rockets
Yeah,
are out of it.
I think this is the season we see the Lakers and the Warriors drop out of the playoffs. Like straight up, I like if I'm looking at teams, I definitely think the Grizzlies
yeah.
are going to rise up. I think that the Rockets are going to be better just with more years together, and I think the Spurs are going to be fighting to get in there. I think that one of those teams might be upset out of there. And that's why I was like the DeRozan signing doesn't do much for me because the West is so good. Like
Yeah.
I personally don't want to take the ball out of De'Aaron Fox's hands more to put into DeMar DeRozan's hands. I don't want that.
I mean, that's
I'm
not what's
thinking of
happening. He just has less of a responsibility of setting the table.
well, that's what I'm
He's
saying. I
not.
don't
He's
want
not
any
having.
less for him. I want him to keep his same usage. I want him and Sabonis to still do their thing, and then they just slot in DeRozan. And I feel like it's gonna become DeRozan's team because that's what happens when he's on your team. Like it becomes
I mean, that's
DeRozan's
what
will.
happens when your whole fucking team get hurt and he the only
Yeah,
person
he
left.
couldn't. I mean,
He didn't come in and take over anything.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
Lonzo team.
That was a
Like, wow,
team.
everybody got hurt. Like, why do you
That
keep
was a
trying to
team
paint
by committee.
that
Yeah,
bull
that was a
situation
committee
like
team.
something it's
Yeah,
not? Niggas was
they all had a
hurt.
role. Yeah, they had a
They
role.
three best players got hurt, and DeMar DeRozan was left. So who the fuck they supposed to get a ball to?
That's
Yeah,
not what I'm saying. I'm
That's
saying
what
that
happened.
when DeRozan came in, it was instantly number one option, most shots on the team, most usage rate on all
well,
that.
his game dictates that though.
Yeah,
For
and I'm saying
that
I don't
team,
know
for
how that
that
fits
team.
with. I'm that's why I'm wondering how his game is going to change for the Kings because I really like what they have going on offensively. I don't think they need to change any of it. I think that where they needed to get better at was on defense and rim protection and wing defense, and they went and
What
got another
changes?
wing
He gets
scorer.
Harrison Barnes shots. That's it.
But is he's going to be satisfied with Harrison Barnes' shot diet? That's what I'm trying to
Yes,
say.
DeMar DeRozan has never been a player running around complaining about shots. He plays within the game, and if ain't nobody else on the fucking floor shooting, I'm shooting because
He's
he
If
kind
can
of had
make
to hand
it.
it to him though. He's kind of had to hand it to him. Like on Toronto, who else was going to take those shots? When they had Rudy Gay and they got him out right back to
That
on the Spurs,
he
it was all
right.
DeMar. When it on the Bulls, it was.
Who else was on that Spurs team?
They had LaMarcus Aldridge. They had Tony Parker still for a bit. Like it was like that's not my like again.
LaMarcus
I think
Aldridge
you're
was on his
missing.
way
Yeah, I
out.
think you're
This was
I think you're
They had
assuming that I'm
LaMarcus
calling
Aldridge
him.
when they still had Tim Duncan. LaMarcus was on his way out. That team, that Spurs team he played on, they were literally just playing games. There was nothing for them to go. There was not protected to go to the playoffs. None of that. He was just playing. He was the only good player on the team.
Well,
Who
I'm not
else is
saying he's
supposed to
a
shoot?
selfish player. I'm not saying he's a selfish player, and I get that that's been his position. That's been his position the entire time. He's gonna have to take less shots playing for this team. That's what's gonna have to happen. That's what I'm curious to see
That's not
because
gonna be a
if I'm
problem. He plays
Sacramento,
within the flow.
I don't think that's the case. He has an ISO game. He pounds the ball a lot. That's his game. And for the Kings, they run a fast paced, free flowing offense. He plays slow. Like I just want to see how it's gonna work
you need
because I
both.
don't.
You need it.
Yeah,
The best teams in the NBA
We'll see.
can play like I will put it this way, right? The Celtics are 100%. The Celtics, Golden State, those types of teams are anomalies. Most teams that win championships, they have multiple styles of play. And even Golden State to a degree had a different style of play. They could play fast, they could play slow, they could be able to stop, set up an offense in the half court. And I'm not saying that the Kings don't have it, but like the DeRozan's game is he has a playoff basketball type of offense. Like he has the type of offense where like you get in the playoffs, you could throw him the ball and he got something that people just can't stop. I'm not saying that what's his name? De'Aaron Fox or Sabonis don't have it, but Sabonis, he goes ghost in the playoffs. Like he's done it multiple times. So putting somebody next to De'Aaron Fox, I just don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be a
He
bloodbath in the
helps
West in
regardless.
general.
He helps.
It's gonna be a bloodbath in the West in general. Like I could see a lot of these teams that like make the playoffs. I could see if you get off to a bad start in the West, you're cooked.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The Kings. I think
If you
The
go like
Kings
two
are
and
made to be good
seven, or
in
like
every regular season. So
yeah, if you go like 2-7, or like 1-8, you're done. You are not getting back in. Like it's over. You might as well just try to get as close to Cooper Flag as you can. I guess. I don't know. Um, are there any other free agency moves worth noting? Really quick.
I think
Batum going back to the Clippers.
yeah, that's good. I think the Buddy Hield pickup for the Warriors is gonna be
Yeah,
crazy. Buddy Hield and like we joked about it earlier, but Buddy Hield and the Anthony Melton are gonna be really good for the Warriors. So that
They
should be good.
replaced everybody they lost.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't necessarily think they're that much better, but
Denver's getting Dario Saric,
yeah. Denver's the other one.
which
They're
that might be who they. Well, I wonder,
Yeah.
is that the plan to trade him for Westbrook to the Clippers?
We'll see. Moving on to the W. That's our favorite set of topics is the W, because y'all love us, y'all hate us in the comments. I don't know what y'all got going on. But Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese both have been voted into the WNBA All-Star team. And Caitlin Clark being the top vote getter by far, Angel Reese was also in the top 5. So the top 5 vote getters and fans was Caitlin Clark with 700K, Miss Boston
Leah
at
Boston,
618K, Aaliyah
her
Boston, right?
teammate.
Yeah, facts. Asia Wilson at 607, Brianna Stewart at 424, and Angel Reese at 381, which I'm pretty sure compared to last year votes, it was at least 6 times greater. So obviously there are more people watching and more people voting on the game compared from last year to this year. This is the jump. How do y'all feel? And we'll start with you. How do you feel about? I'm pretty sure Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are going to be teammates, right? They're going to play
Yep,
against Team
they
USA.
gonna be on. Yeah, they fun, bro. It's gonna be crazy. As I was, it's about to be crazy. I'm glad both of them made it for real, for real. I'm even more glad that they on teams, because now this is one less thing we got to hear people trying to make it seem like people throwing cheap shots on the floor and all this other dumb stuff, these fake narratives they like to create behind that situation. So I
Yeah.
don't know, I think it's gonna be good. I think them two, I think people are gonna see that them two in the pick and roll low key is really dangerous, especially with Aaliyah Boss on the floor with them. It's like, man, I don't. Is she gonna be on their team too? Because that might be. I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. Have they set what the teams are, like the both sides?
Mm, I don't know. I don't think so.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't. I'm assuming
They got
that they'll
Asia
probably
too.
go position
yeah.
position wise. They'll take the top 5 starters.
Oh boy, hey
They
boy.
got Ongu McKay. Oh wait, no, they got the players that should have been on the team anyway on that
Low
the
key,
WNBA roster, which is crazy. I think the team WNBA roster might be just as good as the Team USA roster.
if they
Mhm.
play seriously, bro, Asia is about to kill them girls.
Yeah. Man, they got better. I think they got better
Bro,
guards
she
and
is
wings.
about to. Yeah, they better now. They got better
Man,
guards, but bro, I'm looking at this shit.
yo,
It's
I,
all young bigs. They
they're
are
about to
about
put
to get
Diana.
destroyed by Asia Wilson.
They're about to put Diana on the island.
Yeah, GG. Have
Nah,
fun.
hey,
Man, yeah, Neko and Kumike. They got
hey,
Ariaki on
I
that team. They got
you
man.
try
They
to
got
get
Caitlin
embarrassed.
Clark. I don't know, bro. These teams are a lot closer. I'm just thinking about fit. Like I think the Team USA, like the older team, I think they got like a lot of better all time players for sure. But
Oh yeah,
right now, like I mean, the league leading scorers on the WNBA roster.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like this is gonna be good. I think for All Star, they both deserved it for sure. Um, like 100%, they're both good. They both deserve it. They're both getting the votes. Like to me, reminds me a couple years ago. I remember when Trey Young got voted in as a starter, even though the Hawks were like one of the 3 worst teams in the conference.
Yeah.
Like it reminds me a lot of that. Like he still deserved to be there because he like the kids love him. Uh, but like his team sucks. So I think it's totally fine. And I think Angel Reese has just been breaking records, so she deserves it.
Now they in the playoff picture. Sky.
Where's this game at? I know it's in a couple weeks.
Hmm.
Oh, it's in Phoenix. It's in Phoenix.
Oh,
I think
that's
I
decent.
think they're about to go on break. The WNBA, like before the All-Star, like after the All-Star weekend, they go on like a break for
Yeah.
the Olympics.
I wouldn't be
It's
able to catch that
too
anyway.
bad.
So it is Thursday, July 20th. I will not be available for that one. But it's in Phoenix. So shout out to y'all. Family chat, whammies, whatever. If y'all can make it, make sure y'all pull up and show us support. It'll be dope. It'll be a great opportunity. Maybe one day we could go as a group to go watch the WNBA All-Star game. I feel like that'd be lit. If it's like, well, if like one of them end up in Chicago or like, so I don't know, somewhere close to, we could just go and pull up. That'd be lit. Have a great time. And I did have a side question for you that I did not write down. How does it feel to be right about
Right
Kayla
about
Clark
what?
and Angel Reese? They just as
Uh,
important as each other, as you keep saying.
I'm keep saying it.
The comments feel otherwise, but you keep continuing
They
to be
both bring
proven
a
right.
lot of people. They both bring from like Brandon said, 6 times more people voted this year. They 1 and 5. They bring a lot more eyes to the game. It's because they both really good.
Yeah,
Now, I don't know why people out. The part that's weird to me is like the side picking. It's just like I feel like the people that pick sides are not fans of basketball. It's like those are people with like other agendas and stuff. Cause like
just
as a person that
call it
loves
for
the
what it
game of
is.
basketball, like they're both nice. And they both are like really, really enjoyable to watch because they're both really good the entire time they're on the floor. They're impactful players. So I don't get the side picking.
You think they just mad because Angel Reese got a black job?
It's quite possible. They very
She
well
got
could
one of
be
them good
upset about
black
her black
jobs.
job.
She got one of them good black jobs. Um, yeah, Brandon, you got any topics? Anything you want to add to that?
I mean, no, they're both really good. I'm happy that it's starting to even out a little bit. It's kind of crazy that the Fever have a better record than the Sky right now. I feel like they play them every
Yep.
single week.
As of recent, yeah.
They've also played like 2 or 3 more games, so we'll see. I mean, it's starting to. I don't know who's gonna miss. It seems like both of them are like. How many people play in the WNBA playoffs? Like I know they do best of 3 format. And it's only 3 rounds, right? So it's
Yes, I guess that would be
like
Yep.
I love it. Like I want to
top
see the playoff
6
race.
or top 8.
Sound don't seem like both either of them are gonna make it.
Top 4.
Oh, top
Yeah, I
3.
don't think either team is gonna make it.
No,
Yeah, no, it
is it
doesn't look
top 4
like
on their side?
Yeah.
I'm like, from
top.
what looking at it, look like
Yeah,
they
it's
both
4.
gonna make it. Yeah, they
So one,
four
two,
and
three,
three.
All
four,
I know
five,
is
six, seven, eight.
we are not gonna be ready for this Caitlin Clark playoff
Oh, okay.
coverage. We're not gonna want to see that
Yo.
playoff coverage.
Shout out to the W.
Hey
I
man,
ain't
I'm
gonna
still gonna be
I
watching Asia Wilson.
Yeah,
She's a
I'm not
killer.
gonna lie. I have become a fan. I didn't watch, admittedly, I didn't watch much WNBA basketball before, but I am now. Like, and it's actually sometimes it is more entertaining than the NBA because them girls, women, they be hooping. Yo, they be getting buckets. I'll be like, and
Hey,
they
you seen
tough.
the old girl
Yo,
that's about to win Defensive Player of the Year? I think
yeah,
I think her name Dejanay. I don't know how you say her last name, bro. Killer.
yeah, no, they tough.
Bro,
They
Camila got
tough.
a standing snatch block. Bro,
Yeah,
they kill.
yo, yo.
Bro, the snatch block was crazy. Like she knew it. She hunted it down, bro. She knew it was happening. She like, yep, slid right in the spot. Give me that. Tossed it right to the guard.
That shit is so funny. I love it though. Moving on back to the NBA. Who is the next face of the league? So I have it's a two-part question. Who should the NBA, not the WNBA, we just talked about that. Who should the NBA push and why? Also, if you were Silver, I cannot talk. Dang.
Adam
If you
Sandler,
were Adam
Adam
Silver,
Sandler.
Adam
yeah,
Sandler
if you
league
was Adam
commissioner.
Sandler, who would you push? If you were Adam Silver, who would you push in the NBA? So I guess it's kind of the same question. And go ahead.
I would have to say right now, it's it's between Jason Tatum and Anthony Edwards
Why?
as of right now. Because I mean, I guess the argument is that they want to pick an American guy, right? So
Yeah.
can't pick Luca, don't want to pick Giannis, don't. Joel is a possible option now. About to play for Team USA, might get the gold. So I guess I could see Joel Embiid as a possible option now too. But coming off the Celtics winning that championship, if they can like coming into this season, if they can replicate kind of the regular season success they had last year in the sense of coming out first 20, 30 games, they number one in the East, possibly number one in the NBA again. You might have to go and get that up to Jason Tatum at that point. Especially if he's still the main guy leading the charge there. Probably gonna have to give it to him. But the same thing with the Timberwolves. 20, 30 games in, the Timberwolves are fighting middle of the pack. Depending on what type of success Anthony Edwards is having, if they anywhere in the top three again, I don't know. It's like the conversation is definitely there because they are definitely two very, very skilled players in the NBA right now. And I would have to say that they would be top guys in their position, especially like in the small forward position. I would have to say Jason Tatum is like top five, one of the best small forwards in the NBA right now.
Brandon.
I mean, I think it's Wemby's league. I think it's his. Right now, I think until Jokic kind of declines a little bit, he's still going to be the best player. And they're not. I think they're kind of over trying to market him like that. I think they'll market him as like the best player, but not like the face of the league. Which I think it changes up because I don't think you have to be the best player necessarily to be the face of the
No.
league.
No,
Uh,
not at all.
No.
so I feel like they're gonna push Wemby and Anthony Edwards for sure. Um, I don't. I mean, I think they've tried with Tatum. He's just kind of like I think he doesn't really sit well with a lot of like old school players, and like a lot of people on the internet take his like they'll take his speeches and like his moments where he's trying to like have a moment, and like it'll be like what somebody else
Motherfuckers be
said
hating.
previously. Well, they be hating, but
Motherfuckers be
he like
hating. I'm gonna say
recites a
that.
lot
Motherfuckers
of
be
like
hating.
he recites like a lot of stuff that he's heard other players say in the same moment,
Yeah,
which
be a fan.
yeah, he's a fan of the game. But I think people are like clamoring for him to just be a little more original. Uh, but I mean, look, I don't think it's his league. I don't think he's even in like a top 8 player. So I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna
Damn.
say they're gonna try to do that. Uh I mean, I like Tatum and everything like that, but I think, I mean, his team success is what's gonna drive him, not his individual success. I think he's gonna take a step back, to like let his teammates do more, because that's what's gonna be the recipe for winning for the Celtics the next couple of years, especially while they have this short 2-3 year window with this team.
Is there any chance that the league, of course, the league is global, right? And the face of the league does not have to be the best player. Like, we agree on that. It doesn't have to be the best player. Usually, the face of the league is an American-born player. My question is, do you think that the league tries to take a global approach and say, "Hey, we're going to push Luca or Wemby"? Like, I think that Wemby has a chance because it's not just having the game, right? You have to have the game. You have to have a high-level game. You also have to have the personality and be able to talk to the media and be able to answer tough questions. Um, where like some of our best players that are in the league, like the top 2, top 3, like they have some of those things, but they don't have all of them. To be the face of the league, you got to have all of it, right? Um, do you think that the league goes global with Wemby? Does he take it the league to the next level, or is it just Wemby just is a freak of nature, so we got to push him?
I mean, I think his skill and his like he's already has a great personality. I think that's gonna
Yeah,
take it. I mean, I don't see how it's not his, to be honest, because he's gonna be the best player at some point. I don't know how it doesn't happen. I think he's already like eroaching on top 10. He's gonna have the awards, the accolades, the MVP, like he's gonna have all that stuff. So it's like it's gonna be hard not to make him the face. If he's like entertaining and interesting to talk to, then that's just gonna take it.
It, you shake your head no. Why are you shaking your head no?
Cause I gotta see it. I think he's really fucking good, but that's what it comes down to. It's like we're not giving face of the league out on potential. If Wemby want to be the face of the league, he damn near gotta go do what Luka just did. He gotta find a way to get into the finals. Then like we could talk about it. But like if they're gonna pick an international player right now, Luka's probably in the front because people love Luka. Like
Yeah,
he has his own games. Game's amazing. It's entertaining as hell to watch. Man, his step back threes on your whole team all game.
And he
So it's
trash
like,
talks.
yeah, and he'll
yeah.
he'll
People love
fucking
that
trash
shit.
talk with you. So it's like I like Wimby. I think Wimby is really really fucking good, but he got to do it. This and that's just the type of fan of it I am. Like I think he could be the face, but he's got to start doing it, and it's gonna have to start this year because everybody think he can do it right now. So he's gonna have to do it right now.
I just
So
think
he got
just
to
with
take that team from nothing to the playoffs right now.
him and Chris Paul, I think they're scratching at the play in.
And Harrison Barnes, I
Nah, that
like
nigga
that.
he
Yeah,
wasn't
pro.
playing by himself. I ain't even gonna hold you.
And they got
I
Harrison
still
Barnes.
feel like the Spurs
Yeah,
was
I think that's a
staggering that. Like he wasn't playing on his own.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see who the league decides to push as the face of the league. I think John Morant had a chance. Um,
For
I think
sure.
he. I
For
think
sure.
that was. I think that was the one that they were trying to push, and he kind of squandered it off. Like Anthony Edwards, I think Anthony Edwards has a chance, just because like not even like his game, but like he kind of looked like Jordan. So like there's the parallels that they're trying to draw there, even though it's not fair to do it. But you know, um, like
Him and
there's
Shea
some.
about to get tested this year though.
Yeah, so
Cause
yeah,
Ja back.
and I mean Anthony Edwards is 23, so like he's he's younger, so like you got a chance to like kind of like the league to go as he goes. But he, let me say this for the people who don't want us to have black jobs, he is a little rash for those who ain't got no black job. If you got a job, he's a little rash, but we understand. But I don't know. Um, let's round it off for our last topic of the day. Olympic basketball is back. It's lit. Let's start with you, Brandon. This time, does the U.S. bring home the gold?
I think they have a good chance of it. I think that Team Canada and Team France are real matchup problems for them. Team Canada has I mean, it's weird. They got the best. I think the Team Canada has the best guard in the tournament. Um, because with Shea. But the rest of the team kind of sucks, and they didn't bring Edie. I thought they were gonna bring Edie. If they brought Edie, I definitely think they could have beat the US. But we'll see. And then France and Germany are both pretty good. But I mean, the team US is bringing LeBron and Steph and Kawhi and K. It's too many. Like the collective basketball IQ on the US is just gonna make it way too like that's just good. What's gonna win them a lot of these games. Straight up. Having AD and Bam on the same team is crazy. Having Embiid, AD, and Bam on the same team is crazy. Adding Embiid, AD, and Bam, LeBron, Booker, KD. Like this is like the best team in the USA roster we've had. I want to say since that 2012 team, with Kobe and
The
LeBron and Chris
Redeem Team.
Paul and yeah, not the Redeem team. I'm talking about the one they were comparing to the Dream Team when
Yeah, I think they called them the
right
Redeem Team.
after
Yeah.
that 22. No, that was 08. That was 08. That was the Redeem Team because that's when they won the gold again.
Oh,
Because they
okay,
lost
okay,
in
okay.
04. Yeah, that 2012 Olympic roster. Um, that's the one that had like AD as a rookie going into it, had Tyson Chandler as a starter, Kevin Love. I think no, Chris Bosh wasn't there because he was hurt. Iguodala, Harden. It was like a very it was a good mix of young and old
Nah, the
players.
team that they had is like the second best one was the one with Chris Bosh on it. Because Chris Bosh
That
was
was
playing on that team that they was talking about.
Yeah.
that was the 2000. Yeah, you're right. That was the
Yeah.
2018.
But yeah, they just the collective basketball IQ is going to be great for them. And they do have like some young and athletic guys too, and Anthony Edwards and Bam. So it's going to be interesting. I'm excited to watch some of these teams play. I'm really excited to watch some of the other teams play. I think that the rest of the world finally has rosters that are really worth watching. And I mean, that sounds crazy to say, but like, I mean,
they didn't. Just be honest,
they
they
weren't
didn't.
they didn't have.
I
They
mean, that's
didn't.
facts. That's facts. Like they've gotten better.
They
All the
had-
other countries have gotten better.
They have one guy. They'll have like one or two players who are like decent in the NBA, and then then a bunch of like borderline G leaguers.
Mm-hmm.
So like now it's gotten better. But go ahead. Do you think that the U.S. takes the gold?
Yeah, I think it's a walk down. I'm not even gonna hold. It's the same thing for Canada and France. I don't think Shea can score enough to stop what's about to happen, and I don't think Wemby can score enough to stop what's about to happen. Because right now, KD, they said KD questionable, like all this by his ankle and stuff. Is like, man, y'all lucky if he don't play. But even without KD on the floor, that is a crazy team. That is a crazy team. You tell me you finna put LeBron James, Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Anthony Davis, and Joel Embiid all on the floor at the same time. It's just like where do teams get the rebounds? France is the only team with a chance on the boards. They're the only team with a chance on the board. And we know Rudy Gobert's not out rebounding none of them. So again, can Wemby get 20 rebounds on his own? He's gonna have to have a borderline perfect game in order to get France over that team. Like it's a lot. It's a lot, bro. I see why they don't do this every time, because damn, it wouldn't be fair. It's a lot.
So I have the U.S.
Rudy down there. It's crazy.
Let's knock it off,
bro.
That's just crazy. That's a black hole, dog. You cannot score in there on those.
Rudy's not out. We talking about Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, and Bam Adebayo.
Hey, it's gonna be a long day.
We not talking about these other regular centers that Rudy Gobert get to guard.
Or France
we talking about Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, and Bam Adebayo.
So
and we talking about these players being smart enough to pull Rudy Gobert out, so Anthony Edwards can dunk, so LeBron can dunk, so Devin Booker can get his. Because that's the other thing you're not understanding. They don't even have to deal with Rudy Gobert. Let's say Rudy Gobert is actually playing good defense this game. Who the fuck cares? Is he guarding any of them guards? If Steph come down, this bitch and start lighting y'all the fuck up. Devin Booker come down, start lighting y'all the fuck up. KD come down, start lighting y'all the fuck up. What is Rudy Gobert doing now? Nothing, because we know he can't come out on perimeter. We all know that. We know that they can't play perimeter defense.
Well,
so Wemby gonna have to go out there, right? Wemby can only guard one person.
The rest of that team is good defenders, man. The rest of their team is full of good defenders.
Man, we talking about some of the best players in the
bro.
NBA. We talking about some of the best players in the NBA.
I'm not saying that they're gonna.
We talking about Steph. We not talking about these regular niggas. We not talking about CJ. No, and hey, no disrespect to nobody I named. We not talking about CJ McCollum. We talking about Steph and Devin Booker.
Okay.
So let me put it this:
it's not going to be a dog wash against France. They have great. Their whole team has been playing with them for like 10+ years.
Everybody that team played is probably finna get their ass beat, just like that year when Melo and them was beating everybody ass.
And all defensive level center on it. Like it's not.
The last time we had this type of team, everybody got their ass beat except Powell and Mark. This is the same shit. Everybody about to get their ass beat, but Wemby, and Wemby about to get his ass beat because he ain't got no help for real.
He got okay. All right. You're free to believe that.
Hold on.
Crazy about this France team. They got some.
I'm not talking crazy about nothing. That Team USA team is amazing. It's a really good team. They're better than everybody.
I didn't say they weren't. But you're talking about.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is that they're better than everybody. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you just said a whole lot about Team France.
Yeah, all the ways they're better than everybody. Because it's true.
You said a whole lot about Team France, and I'm just here to defend them on that because this team is really good. Like this.
How you defend them? You American.
Wemby is that's the
have some American pride, Brandon.
Wemby's their best player, and Wemby alone cannot win that game.
Wemby is their best player, but he's not doing it. He's not going at it alone. Like we're both looking at the same roster here, right? These are all
Yeah,
this
I
all
didn't
this
say he
team
was going at it alone, but
full of former NBA or full of
yeah,
current or former NBA players. They got Dieng off the bench for that plays for OKC, who won G League MVP. Bilal Coulibaly, who was in the was third in all
great
rookie.
defender, amazing defender.
That's what I'm saying. They have great defenders.
He can guard one person at a time.
Yeah, but it's not like but they're gonna play as a unit. They always have.
We talking about a team that's putting 5 30-point players on the floor at all times.
But this 5 30-point players aren't all putting up all 30 points in that game.
But any of them can put up 30. Wherever the mismatch is, we put up 30. Coulibaly can only guard one person. Rudy Gobert can only guard one person. Wemby can only guard one person. There's 2 other players on the floor. They don't have another defender of his caliber. Those 3 guys are their best defenders. There are no other defenders on that team of their caliber.
They're going to be running some zone.
And Coulibaly can't. He played 1 year in the league. He good, but
and like
Tony Allen yet.
Like also like when the ball hits the rim in FIBA, they can knock it off, and they got 2 of the best shot blockers in history on the floor at the same time.
Yeah, but we know one of them is fraudulent.
Rudy's fraudulent at a lot of things, but he's not a fraudulent.
I don't see Rudy Gobert out rebounding the 3 bigs on Team USA.
I'm talking about blocks. I'm talking about blocks and rim protecting.
I don't see him getting more blocks than the USA bigs.
There's only maybe 2 players in the league that keep up with him on the when it comes to protecting the rim. He's that good.
Him and Anthony Davis had the same stats. Him and Joel Embiid had the same stats on blocks.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. Him and Anthony Davis had the exact same amount of rebounding and blocks. Anthony Davis averaged the steal. He didn't. Joel Embiid averaged 2 blocks and the same and less rebounds.
I mean, look at the defensive numbers. I mean, the Lakers weren't as good at the rim.
And then you know what Bam did. So I don't even got to tell you what Bam did. You still believe that them 2 niggas is
while we get the comparison.
All right.
While we get the comparison.
All right, you know who Bam Adebayo is. That's your guy, but that's crazy. You really think that Rudy and
there's
Wemby
no world where Nando De Colo and Evan Fournier guard anybody we throw out there. I don't care.
This is international ball. It's not the same as the US.
Guess what? The 3-point line is a 2-pointer in the NBA. So all the great mid-range scorers become great 3-point shooters in the international game.
I'm just saying it's not going to be a wash. That's all I'm saying.
I disagree, especially if they throw out. It depends on who they throw out in the starting lineup. Like, I guess that's a bigger question. Like, who does the U.S. throw out the starting lineup? Because I got them going LeBron, Steph, KD at the 2,
LeBron, Joel Embiid, and whoever the fuck else.
Yeah, I would go Steph. I would go Steph at the 1, KD at the 2, LeBron at the 3. Now, if they want to just punish a team against France, I would put AD at the 4 and Embiid at the 5, or you could put Bam at the 4 and switch AD. It don't really matter. But I don't think if you throw them 5 out there, I don't think nobody beats them. Or you could switch. You could switch Kawhi with KD. If KD's hurt, you put Kawhi at the 2. Same effect. Nobody beats him. Not even close.
I don't think it's gonna be a dog walk. I think that's fool's gold, and like that's American exceptionalism, because we said the same thing about the roster last year. I know there's a lot.
I ain't say that shit.
No,
I ain't say that shit.
I said the same things were okay. The same things were being
said about the last. Fine. I'm just saying.
France is always giving the U.S. trouble just because of their length, their defense, and the way that they play. That's
no
still
Spain,
be
not France.
Yeah, no, France.
No. He's right. That's fine. But there has only been a couple of these Olympic years where we sent our best guys, and every single time we have done that, everybody has gotten the dog shit beat out of them except one team. I will give you that France is going to be that one team that doesn't get the dog shit beat out of them. But they're getting the goal. They're going to lose. They're going to lose.
Still going to beat them by 20.
They're still going to lose.
Yeah, I don't think this is a 20-point win, like, at all.
Probably not, but they're still going to lose. Everybody else finna get the dog shit beat out of them. Steph, Devin Booker, Kawhi, LeBron, Joel.
Yeah, I don't know about bringing KD off the bench, like, because I don't know if his ego will allow that. But I think they're gonna go with Steph, Booker, KD, LeBron, and Anthony Davis, and then they'll probably just sub in. It depends on who they're playing. Like if they're playing against like France, they'll probably double big it.
If he
Or
egos
if
it,
they
that's
play against
stupid
like
because
Hey,
Serbia,
Dwayne Wade
yo,
averaged
Serbia,
24 off the bench for the
double
USA.
big is crazy.
they go maybe against Serbia. They play a bigger lineup too because Serbia has like a lot of good bigs. They play like a really interesting way. Who I also think will give the U.S. a fit. I know that we have the best players, but I just don't think. I think the rest of the world is pretty good too. Not saying they're better or anywhere even close to it, but these games are not going to be dog walk. A lot of them will be, but the ones that matter, like against Germany, Canada, France, and Serbia, those are going to be close games. All of them. Just because Serbia has Jokic, Jokic is. I don't care who's on the other side of that floor. You're not stopping Jokic.
We'll see.
All right. Y'all heard it. Got a little heated debate. That's what y'all wanted. That's all good, man. Look, I did put a topic. What is Kawhi doing? Because I didn't know if he was going to be there or not. Last time we seen he was at Costa Rica taking selfies or what. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but he there. He hooping. He good money. So shout to Kawhi, for being there. We gonna round it out here. A couple things before we bounce, y'all. Get us to 100 subscribers on the Club WAM Podcast on the YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. You wanna know why? When y'all get us to 100, maybe we'll do a live stream. So incentives. Get us to 100 subscribers on the Club WAM. We'll do a live stream for y'all live on the tube. And Brandon said he'll chug a beer. No, I'm just kidding. He ain't say that.
I mean, we could incorporate a shotgun or two in here and there, but
yeah, that's like the milestone. You get us to 100K or something like that's down the road. That's down the road. We'll do that. But yeah, man. We gonna end it right here. We signing out. Let us know in the comments what y'all think. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your mama, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your daddy, like, comment, subscribe. Tell anybody you know with a black job to like, comment, and subscribe. If they don't got a black job, tell them to like, comment, subscribe. But we out of here. Say peace out to the people.
Peace.
peace.
We'll see y'all.